from the soul with it. Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? The Allen Royce coming to you live with yet another video. If you're new to the channel, please be sure to click that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can be a part of the notification squad. So I want to talk to y'all about a variety of things. It's almost 2 o'clock in the morning, and I just got finished watching a lot of the interviews that they had from the boxing event. I'm not sure exactly what's the name of the boxing event, but they had a lot of the fighters there, a lot of Al Haymon fighters. I think it was put on by Showtime Boxing or PBC, one of those. And, I just want to go over the different topics that came up. I seen a lot of Keith Thurman interviews, a lot of Errol Spence interviews, and I watched the Tank interview. And for those that know, I don't really, on this channel, I only talk about, it has to be authentic to me and organic to me. I'm a Laker fan, so I talk about a lot of the Laker stuff. I'm a hip-hop fan. Like, my favorite rapper is, let's say, J. Cole, myself, or, I talk about what I like. Errol Spence, my favorite fighter. Floyd Mayweather, my favorite fighters. And I like Tank, so those are fighters that I talk about, or I might talk about Adrian Broner. But, so Keith Thurman recently was asked the question about fighting Errol Spence, and he gave the answer that he's normally been getting, which is he's not on my to-do list. So they asked him, when he compared the Errol Spence fight to like Kobe Bryant facing KD, and he said that, oh, well, if the league is telling Kobe Bryant to fight KD right after he came off an injury, that would be like, and I'm trying to understand the analogy, and I'm like, well, first of all, Kobe would play through an injury. Like, it's been multiple times where Kobe Bryant has played through injuries. And Kobe looks for the challenge. When it's time to get back from an injury, Kobe's out a certain amount of time. And then when he comes back, it's kind of like it's tuned up. He'll come back against probably an opponent that isn't like a top-level opponent or top-level competition. Like, let's say he got faced the Spurs. They wouldn't necessarily bring him back against the Spurs. They'd bring him back against, some mid-level or lower competition just to get his rhythm back. So, but Kobe would look forward to those challenges of facing a Spurs or a Golden State or whatever may have you. So I'm just not really understanding that analogy. I just think that he was just kind of trying to find an analogy real quick and think on his toes. I don't think that was premeditated, but he also, in terms of talking about the Lamar Peterson fight, by the way, Errol Spence said, if you see any holes in my game, call Al, which I'm pretty sure Keith Thurman didn't do. So he said that, Errol Spence, Lamar Peterson didn't do, he didn't have enough movement. And once he got dropped, and that's when he started to use movement, and that's when he started to box. So clearly, everything that Lamar Peterson was doing wasn't working. Because if he moved around the ring, Errol Spence would cut the ring off and he was there. His power was starting to slow him down. The body shots, everything was starting to slow down Lamar Peterson. Lamar Peterson does not get a lot of credit for his boxing ability. Great boxer. Even though he's 34 years old, he still has great footwork, great athleticism. There's things you can see, like, from what we hear, from what I heard, and I'm not sure if I heard it from Barry Hunter. I think it was somebody from Headbangers, and they said that Lamar Peterson got the best of Floyd Mayweather in sparring. And I understand it's just sparring, but, practice, makes perfect, right? I feel like Lamar Peterson is at that level the same boxing level as Floyd Mayweather. It just was always mental. He stayed in DC. Floyd Mayweather moved away and he got better. He switched trainers. You know, it's levels that I feel like Lamont Peterson didn't get to, and it was mental. But I still think that Lamont Peterson still is a great boxer. I think he's a better boxer than Keith Thurman. I think he has better footwork than Keith Thurman, even at his age. But it's mental. It's mental. You know, he has those physical gifts, but he didn't do what he had to do to get to that Mayweather level. I think it was the next level was the Mayweather level, and I think he had to move in order to get to that level. He didn't have the defense of a Floyd Mayweather. I don't think he had the dedication that Floyd Mayweather had. See, since Floyd was a kid, all he knew was boxing, boxing, boxing. As he would say, he ate, shit, drank, boxing. But Lamont Peterson, it's different. He didn't probably dedicate, I'm pretty sure he didn't dedicate his life solely to boxing. He probably was getting into the streets, women, other things, other distractions. And it was other ways that, you know, he had to get better. Errol Spence got way better with his defense. If you compare, and then he had a layoff versus the Kell Brook fight. And people like, oh, he got hit with this shot. He got hit with that shot. And then that same people was like, oh, he got hit. You know, he doesn't like being hit, and he doesn't like that. And he barely got hit, first of all. And even if he doesn't like to get hit, nobody wants to get hit. You know, nobody wants to get, who wants to get hit? And it's boxing, first of all. In boxing, you're going to get hit. You know, that's going to happen. Like, it's just like you're going to get hit in boxing, bro. It's like, if you think you can get, I think Mayweather has set the bar so high that fighters, that people think nobody's going to get hit. And even Errol Spence has the bar set so high for himself now because Errol Spence is in a position now, he's in that Mayweather position to whereas if he goes out there and he doesn't get hit, they're going to critique him in another fashion. But then if he go in there and he does get hit, they're going to critique that. So he's in a no-win situation. Errol Spence has a fight coming, I believe, June 16th. I was going to post that earlier. I was just like, man, I'm not going to post it. I'll just come on here and wait. But, you know, from what I hear, they say that he's going to be fighting as mandatory. And, you know, I'm looking forward to, you know, Errol Spence fights. My family, you know, they were watching Errol Spence. They were very entertained. They liked Errol Spence. My dad, you know, he became kind of a fan of Errol Spence now. And I think that we as fans have to stop asking Keith Thurman about this fight. You know, we have to stop putting the pressure on Al Heyman, PBC, and Showtime or whoever to get behind this fight. We no longer need to be putting the pressure on Keith Thurman. We need to no longer even ask Keith Thurman about the fight. Let him continue to do what he does. Keith Thurman is in it for the money. He wants the money. Give him an offer he can't refuse. This is what I keep saying. You know, Keith Thurman also said, go look at the Ellie Setback interview. He said he doesn't have a mandatory. And people aren't listening to me. But when you go back and watch my videos and what I've been saying over the years, just listen over what I've been saying over the year about fighters and Keith and Errol Spence and how these fighters jealous of Errol Spence. These fighters are jealous of him. And I'd be right. What we have to do is put the pressure on the people that are in charge and give him an offer that he can't refuse. I guarantee you, if you offer him a bag, a lot of money, he's not going to refuse that fight. You know, having the tune-up is cool. We're asking him to fight Errol Spence after your tune-up. You know? And I just feel like, you know, the boxing fans, you know, Terrence Crawford made some. I'm not even worried about Terrence Crawford anymore. You know, we call him Bud. You know, so that means Errol Spence will smoke him easy, you know. and Errol Spence Jamaican smokes bud all the time. I mean, allegedly, or not even allegedly. I don't even want to put that out there, but I'm just joking with y'all. I'm just popping my shit. He's in it for the money. That's why he continuously calls out. That's why he was calling out Floyd Mayweather. That's why he asked for $10 million to fight Errol Spence before Errol Spence even fought the likes of Kell Brook or fought the likes of Lamont Peterson. And like I said, Errol Spence is get this double standard because you heard what I said. Like, y'all got to go back and watch my post-fight, interview. I mean, my post-fight review. You can look at my post-fight and look at my prediction. I said that the fight would end by the 7th round, but it would go no later than 8. I said that. I said the fight would go no later than 8 rounds. I said that Errol Spence would come forward. He would impose his will. He would show that he could box. He would put on an A+ performance or a performance. And I said that he would prove to people that he could box. He's going to show his defense. And I think it's going to be a one-sided fight. But Lamont Peterson is going to land some shots. I said that, and that's exactly what happened about the Lamont Peterson and Errol Spence fight. I said that people would say that Lamont Peterson was washed up. I said that people would say that. And they would try to discredit Errol Spence. Everything that he does from this point on, he's going to make the extraordinary fighters look ordinary. When he destroyed Keith Thurman, mark my words, when he finally fight Keith Thurman, and they're going to offer him, PBC has to offer him a bag that he can't refuse. They have to. When they offer him that bag he can't refuse, I guarantee you once Errol Spence destroy him, they're going to discredit. They're going to find an excuse. They're going to say, oh, he just came off an injury, or he just did this. He just did that. He wasn't ready for Errol Spence, or this and that. They're going to make an excuse because he's going to make him look ordinary. He's only 23 fights in. Errol Spence is going to make Terrence Crawford, if they ever get the chance to fight, which, the chances of them fighting is not likely because, Terrence Crawford is under top rank. But I guarantee you, if they fought, everybody that Errol Spence fights, from this point on, he's going to make them look like ordinary fighters. Mark my word. He's going to make them look like C-level fighters. And they going to say the same thing they did with Lamont Peterson. Oh, he's too old. Or this is that. They're doing it now. And he's 23 fights in. That speaks a lot to Errol Spence, and he's 27 years old. Says a lot. Nobody's asking Crawford when you see him. You don't see them constantly saying, you're going to fight this person. You're going to fight this person. You're going to fight that person. You're going to fight that person. But when you see Shawn Porter, so that's why I'm not even thinking about Terrence Crawford from this point, because he's irrelevant. To me, he's overrated, but that's just my opinion. And I've been saying that. When I say he overrated, everybody like, oh, how you going to say he's overrated? I'm just saying he's overrated. He's not on Errol Spence level. There's different levels. Errol Spence is just on another level. Facts. And they don't like the praise that he's getting. When you look at Shawn Porter, and I'm going to end this video. When they ask Shawn Porter, when they harass Shawn Porter, they're typically harassing him about Errol Spence. When they talking to Danny Garcia, they're harassing him about Errol Spence. When they talk to Keith Thurman, they're harassing him about Errol Spence. Terrence Crawford reminds me a lot of DeMarcus Corley mixed with a Timothy Bradley. Terrence Crawford is not a better boxer than Lamont Peterson. Terrence Crawford is not a better boxer than Lamont Peterson. Don't have the footwork, the angles, the boxing ability, the movement that Lamont Peterson has. He's not a better boxer than Kell Brook. Errol Spence ranked #1 due to his offensive output and accuracy. He had a total of 62 punches Terrence Crawford 53, Keith Thurman 47. So Errol Spence lands on a higher percentage than Keith Thurman and Terrence Crawford, Manny Pacquiao, Sean Porter, Danny Garcia, Jeff Horn. And I would like to break down the numbers and actually analyze, because I know it's going to be some idiot out there like, Terrence Crawford is a better defender and the stats prove this and blah, blah, blah. But what you're not realizing is Errol Spence has faced tougher opposition at a bigger weight class than he has. The numbers not like super off from each other anyway. But at the same time, the competition, if you're going out there fighting mid-level or subpar competition, of course you're not going to get hit like that. You're not facing top-level competition. We talking about Errol Spence. Compare the opposition that he's fought at his weight class compared to who Errol Spence has fought. He's fighting top-level competition. Kell Brook, Lamont Peterson. And people can discredit Chris Algieri all they want. But Chris Algieri outboxed deadly power puncher and Ruslan Provodnikov. Went to a decision with Manny Pacquiao. If there's some people who say he outboxed Amir Khan or it was a draw. So Errol Spence fight him, they discredit him. That's why I say the numbers, a lot of times the numbers don't tell the full story. They don't tell the truth. You have to actually analyze things first before you start to, go on and start to, oh, he's the best defensive fighter, blah, blah, blah. Come on, he's not fighting people as slick, as fast, as athletic as him. He's not in there with a mirror of himself. He's not in there with guys who are just as skilled as him or just as fast as him or as defensive as him. Somebody with punching power like an Errol Spence. Somebody who's bigger, like huge, like Errol, that's a big welterweight, like Errol Spence. You got to factor in a lot of things. But anyway, y'all get in that comment box. Like, share, subscribe. I'm out.
Yeah. Competition in my mind with your favorite rapper. I keep it G just like the helmet of a Green Bay Packer. No fear tatted across my stomach, you can never scare me. Look at these rappers surviving on popularity shit. Throw them in the lion's den with the killer, the god. No Karuchi, but you get your head twist with these claws. Lion King, motherfucker, evil nigga like Scar. Mufasa, you hanging off that cliff, I throw your ass off.